By the cactus, y'all. We're by the cactus. That cactus is growing. It is growing, growing, growing. I guess the cactus. I don't know anything about cacti. Is that what you call it? Cacti? If you're talking about more than one. Hey, Saint. No, that ain't Saint. That's Bird Bird. Hey, Bird Bird. Bird Bird, I thought you were a subscriber by the name of Saint, because your avatar, is that avatar profile pic? What do you call it? It's not an avatar, it's a profile pic, right? It looks really similar. Hey, Bird Bird, welcome into the chat. How you doing? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thank you, B Spice. Passing by, enjoy your walk. Thank you, B Spice. I appreciate you. Thank you, Bird Bird. I appreciate you. Yeah, I thought Bird Bird was Saint. Saint comes over here sometimes, and the pic looks really similar. How y'all doing on this Friday? How y'all doing? Happy Friday, Bird Bird. Bird Bird, look, listen. How you doing? How you doing, B Spice? Y'all, I've been hearing so many people whining and crying and ooh, talking about they don't have a king. Y'all, and I just look at them. Because let me tell you something. The main ones doing the whining and crying are the main ones who voted for their king. Y'all, this country is it's not the country. It's not the country. It's just like with everything else. It's not the place. You know, sometimes a place can be kind of, rough. Just like places can be really, really pleasant and nice, right? But generally speaking, it's usually who? The people. So if you catch this replay, I got a question for y'all, and I probably should have put it in the title. But if you catch this replay and you are one of the people who have been laid off, one of the federal employees who have been laid off by somebody who is barely an American citizen himself, just since the 90s, if you have been laid off because of him and his bunch of teenage minions, if you have been, as of today, redeployed, FBI agents being redeployed, tell me how you're dealing with that. You got to uproot your family, something that just happened today out of the blue. You just found out you got to uproot your family. Hey, Shawanda. Shawanda says, hey, everybody. So if you catch and I'm saying this at the beginning of this live, the first 5 minutes or so, because if you catch it, that's the question I want you to answer for me. How you feeling about that king that you elected? Because most of the people who are crying, whining, and all that stuff right now, because see, the rest of us are looking like, we told you so. We asked you to read. But y'all don't like to read, okay? And the ones who do like to read, it didn't matter because they never thought that anything that could be done would apply to them. So now you have an idiot trying to take over the Postal Service, because you know why he's doing that, right? The next election, he can control the ballots. All right? Trying to take over the Postal Service. That's one of the first things. That's the first one of, it's so many firsts. He's done hundreds of idiotic, stupid things. And it's something when you can say one of the first and you still talking about like the first 200 or 300. It's take over the Postal Service. And a lot of these people that be talking about they retired, knowing that their retirement is just their Social Security. How you feeling about them trying to mess with that? Huh? How you feel about talking about he gonna find out where our money is going? You ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. Shawanda says, hey, Bird says, hey, Shawanda. Shawanda says, hey, everybody. So I'm just wondering, how you feeling about these people who are established where they are, these FBI agents, their families are where they want to be, kids are in the schools they want to be in. And today, I think hundreds of them have been redeployed. So how you feeling about that? There was a town hall in Georgia last night, and that Republican representative was catching the business. He was catching the business. And guess from who? Democrats don't usually go to Republican town halls. Okay? They don't usually. It's not impossible because they are your elected representative. But who do you think the bulk of that town hall consisted of? Quote, conservatives. Quote. And it's not funny because what these idiots are doing is hurting everybody whose gross income is under $1 million. So for all you people that are so excited and talking about a stimulus check, listen, a stimulus check for what? Any money that they claim that they've saved or that they found that was misappropriated. We haven't received any proof of it. We haven't received any proof of it. Any excessive spending, we haven't received any proof of it. All we know is that they're cutting out shit so they can keep that money for them, okay? In a plethora of different ways. And it ticks me off when the rich, like Musty, receiving all that federal money over the past years. Okay, Bird. Thank you, Bird. Take your phone call, sis. Come on back when you can. The biggest welfare recipients are the billionaires. The biggest welfare recipients are the billionaires. So, for all you people who are in the hood hollering about, we love you, Mr. Trump. We know. Okay, how you feeling about coming up off that Section 8? Because you're going to have to do it. And they told you that you would have to. Okay? But you didn't want to read. You didn't want to listen. Everything is propaganda. Remember? For those of age to receive that Social Security, around here talking about where are our dollars going. Look, how much money did you really make? Why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? How much money did you really generate? Your tax dollars is going to go to something. A lot of people who complaining about stuff like that, they didn't pay enough taxes to be complaining. They didn't pay enough taxes to be complaining. Well, they think it's funny. Everybody think it's funny until that dog don't hunt no more. Everybody think it's funny until the dog don't hunt no more. Everybody thinks it's funny until it affects them. We don't be liking to do these, and we're not going to get deep in the political, but we're going to let you know. You don't ever want to see anybody in a situation financially, emotionally, or spiritually that's not suitable for them. So, but there's a way to let somebody know that you did this. Why are you fussing? Why are you whining, crying? Why are you mad? You did this. You did this. And I ain't gonna lie. Oh, Musty. See, people like to talk about, I'm being nosy, y'all. People like to talk about the Democrats this, the Republicans this, the Republicans this, the Democrats that. Okay, and yeah, they're politicians. None of them are perfect. They all do crazy and weird shit. But there is one side that's better suited for your income than your economic, for your social economic status level. There is one side that's better suited for you. And it ain't the side that you tried to rock with. It ain't the side that you tried to rock with. It is not the side that you tried to rock with. So you guys look at the legs move as we walk and talk over here in Lions Pride. That's what we do. That's what we do. Each and every day, we're either outside walking and talking, or we're on Ellie the elliptical walking and talking, okay? We kind of glide when we're on Ellie. When we're on Ellie, we're gliding and talking, okay? Yeah, we're gliding and talking. On Ellie, we glide and we talk. So, I'm just wondering, because you got some smart mouth people that be coming through in your comment sections, other people's comment sections, acting like you don't have the right to drag a mofo when he ain't doing right. And this mofo and his crew ain't doing right. So we got the right to drag him. A lot of them are mad. They don't want to hear about the mistake that they made in November. They don't want to hear about it. But we're going to talk about it a little bit every time, which will probably be every second, every minute. He's dropping something stupid. So at some point you have to just get tired of talking about him. But when it's something that needs to be talked about, people are going to talk about it. People are going to remind you of your vote that you're crying about right now. And it's so strange to see a doofus conducting videos and lives with a Trump hat on. With a Trump hat on. Talking about worried about their retirement and all this kind of stuff. Lady, from the looks of it, he's taking everything away that you probably earned. That's what they're trying to do. Take away everything that hardworking people earned to put it in the pockets of themselves. Had the opponent won, your retirement would have been just fine. Pretty much guaranteed to be fine. You really look like a doofus. I cannot believe. I mean, you got to think about it. People have the right to be on whatever side of the political spectrum or whatever part of that rainbow that they want to be on. Because people are thinking about the things that best fit them, right? But I can go back to like Bush, some of the things even Reagan did, the first Bush, reading and learning about a lot of things that they did and just knowing about a lot of what the second Bush did. We thought we complained then about stuff, but we never thought that things were going to go down the toilet. Under President Bush, George W., he did some crazy stuff, but the man had some empathy. He had a degree of compassion, all right? And you were maybe a little ticked off with some things, but you never felt like things would go down the toilet. He made some poor choices. You know, they all do. But he never made choices intentionally that were poor. I will say, except that war. I do think that was to kind of redeem his father or whatever. Because there were no weapons. There were no weapons. But other than that, and he won a lot of people over, because when he first got in there, I can remember my parents and my aunties talking about he sending that little $600 check. I think he sent a stimulus check. Now you got some of these people sitting around waiting on the stimulus check, talking about Doge is uncovering all this corruption, and we're going to get a stimulus check. Do you think that stimulus, they barely wanted to give your ass anything during COVID. Do you think that stimulus check will be any more than maybe $1,000? How far is that going to carry you? That doesn't even meet your monthly bills. That doesn't even meet most people's monthly bills. And with everything continuing to go up, not dropping a lick. What? How long are we supposed to give him? Like 6 months, a year? What? 6 months, a year? What? You know what you did? For those who put him in there, it's like my granny used to say. You it, and you stepped in it. You it, and you stepped in it. And it's so funny because, again, most of the people who are all over the internet complying. Yeah, not complying. But how do you put whining and complaining together? How do you put whining and complaining together? I just want to know what y'all going to do. Because a lot of y'all be coming back on my replay when I say something about President Donald Dump. Hey, Georgia girl. Welcome to the chat, Georgia girl. A lot of y'all be complaining in my replay when I be saying something about President Donald Dump. All right? See, but who, y'all on TV, y'all got town hall meetings, and it's not Democrats. The Democrats looking back, shaking their heads, saying, we told y'all dumbasses to read Project 2025. All right, to the black people in the hood at them colleges when he was coming on talking about, oh, we like you, Donald Trump. We don't care what they say. And you even got people who get smart with you in chats when you say something about their big pumpkin head mofo. Okay? Yup, I said it. YouTube, this channel is not made for kids. Okay? It's not made for kids. So we're going to speak on that idiot ass mofo. Okay? This summer gun put in Cash Patel. Okay? Well, he put him up there. Congress put him in. This summer bucket just redeployed hundreds of FBI agents and their families out the blue. Whoop, out the blue. You got to change your kid's school. You got to go somewhere you probably never been before. Yeah. And I've been watching town hall meetings, y'all, everywhere. So for y'all who keep coming leaving them comments in my section about anything said about Donald Trump, and don't tell me ish about a stimulus check. That mofo didn't want to give you $1,400 during COVID. So for all this wasteful spending that they haven't shown proof of yet, you think that the American people are really going to get a stimulus check? Hey, I'm not going to say it's not possible because George W. Bush gave a stimulus check, right? About $600, I think it was. My aunties, my parents and stuff, they was like, okay, $600. Is he trying to like buy our approval? You can't buy approval with money, okay? You cannot. So, you got people coming in my comment section, and y'all know I'll cuss a bitch out. I'm just gonna put it like that. Excuse me, YouTube, but I'll cuss a bitch out. Because what you're not gonna do is ever come into my comment section and tell me what not to talk about when you talk about whatever you want to talk about, right? A lot of them are getting offended, y'all, when you talk about Donald Trump. Yeah, they're getting offended because they want us to empathize with them. You got some Mexicans who are whining and crying, asking, where are the black people? Let me tell you something. All of the civil rights that our people fought for in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, guess who benefited from those more than we did? Other races. So you can call me racist. I don't believe in that bullshit. I got a lot of white brothers and sisters. They in the battle with me every day. All right? So I don't give a damn about being called racist. Because, see, that's what they do when you telling them how they are. Oh, see, like the Super Bowl halftime show. Oh, I can't believe they were so racist. Half of y'all asses didn't even understand the message. You had to get it interpreted to you. Hell, a lot of black people didn't get the message until it was explained to them. So half of y'all didn't even understand the message. Now, some white people who were woke did. And I'm sure somebody had to explain it to Donald Trump. We're gonna march. All the leaders are dumb just now. Nah, not all of them. Nah, we ain't rolling with that shit, Angie. Nah. But see, instead of people owning that shit, they want to say, oh, it's not all inclusive. That's just saying all white people are racist. That's a lie. They all have to tell some lies. Yeah. And sometimes they tell lies because they know they're telling lies. But other times they're telling lies because some of the things that they want and they want to fight for us, they can't always get because it takes votes. And if the vote's not in their favor, a lot of times they can't get the things that they promise, right? So I understand that. If you can't get the majority in the House and Senate the way you need to, you're not going to be able to do some of the things that you promised. That's common logic. But that shit about all, no, it ain't no all. It ain't never all or nothing. This motherfucker is a motherfucker. Period. He's a motherfucker. Period. And the sad part about it is it was written up. It was written and released for us to see it. But you have people that don't like to read over 500 pages. All right? So Agenda 47 was simply Project 2025. Right? So you could have read either one of them. Right? We have to elect leaders. So now I'm not going to put that on all, because all of them aren't bad. Just like Jasmine Crockett. She ain't bad at all. Will she be able to promise everything that she promised? Probably not, because she's in the majority. She's not bad. So now we ain't going not to see. This is the problem. A lot of people have realized that they shitted and stepped in it. Okay, and that's what happens when people don't want to just own their shit. But I give kudos to those conservatives who are on social media, like some of the farmers, some of the Social Security recipients, some of the federal workers. I give kudos to them for saying, I effed up. I effed around and found out. All right? I give kudos to them. All right? So, and I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to tell y'all like this. I don't even believe he won the election. Polls don't really always matter. Okay? Sometimes the person behind does come back and, hey, they take it. They win it. When I say take it, I mean they get out there and they do some grassroots, so they just get the message out in a certain way. And you have some sleeper candidates. They end up winning the election. All right? And they've been behind in the polls the whole time. It's real funny that Kamala, and I wish people would learn how to say her damn name. Like, well, if your name is Susie, that sounds kind of easy, right? But what if I called you Sushi? Okay, what if I called you Sushi? All you gotta do is sound it out. Sound it out. At least be close. Like, I know sometimes we can sound things out and it would be a little bit wrong, but at least be close, right? So you got Bubba sitting in the basement at a computer, probably at his mama's house, with Doritos chips on his fingers, tapping a whole bunch of racist shit. What's going on, Joyelle? And now we got hundreds of people, talking all this racist shit. That's where the division comes from. The division does not come from African Americans talking about their plight. And for those racists, oh, you didn't work in the cotton fields. You didn't do this. You shitting me. My mama did. My mama did. If your parents were born in the late 40s, early 50s, they were probably somewhere still picking cotton, okay? They were probably somewhere still picking cotton. So we're going to get a little bit of straightening today. Just a little bit. You had Americans paying Jewish people money for something that they didn't even do, okay? Black slavery. We're going to talk about black slavery because everybody loves to talk about, oh, slavery existed everywhere. Well, we ain't talking about everywhere. We're talking about right here in America. We're talking about shadow slavery, okay? We're talking about right here. All right? You got people who aren't even American citizens. When certain shit went down, they paid the Jews just because they didn't do enough to help. But we always get this pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. What the fuck do you mean pull ourselves up by our bootstraps? Yeah, my ancestors did it. I didn't do it. But I could touch the ancestors that did. My mama picked cotton. All right? My mama picked cotton. She would have been in her early 70s. My grandparents picked cotton. My great-grandparents, shit. They're on farmers' money right now. A lot of the money that we're owed, we don't get. We have not gotten. So when you see sometimes that people of color will take advantage of some stuff, you damn skippy. We don't get what everybody else got. And for those who say that, oh, your parents, you didn't do it. Okay, well, guess what? My parents did. And guess who reaped the benefits of not paying my parents? Your ancestors. They were able to save and accumulate a whole bunch of wealth off the backs of slaves. And then they passed their wealth on down to you. So stop shitting me. Now, will I go out and get my shit and work? Yes, I will. But don't be telling me about what we don't deserve or we didn't have to do it. Well, your folks didn't have to do it. And damn sure don't tell me that shit about your own people told you. Yeah, a people of a foreign land come to you. Because everybody has slaves, right? Our people had slaves. Everybody has enslaved their own people. Most of them, I won't say everybody, but many, many cultures have enslaved their own people. So when they made the slave trades, You come and you giving them things they've never seen before, these precious blankets and all this type of whatever the hell the shit was that they gave, things that they never saw. Okay, they handed some of our ancestors to you. But do you really believe that if they thought that those people would be hung from trees, maimed, ears cut off, disfigured, dismembered, do you really think that they would have been A-okay with that? Had they known, had they been able to take a kaleidoscope and send it from Africa all the way over here to this new country, well, what they called new country, because it wasn't new, and some of us were over here already. But if you think that the people who had us enslaved, we had to be enslaved in order for them to give us away. So I don't want to hear that shit about your people enslaved you. Yeah, and other people's enslaved them as well. So do you think if they could have gotten a kaleidoscope, or if they could have gotten a time machine, or if they could have just sailed across the waters for a month to see what happened to our people, their people, do you think that they would have continued to do that? Think with some damn common sense, instead of always trying to deflect and lay blame at the feet of somebody else. Slavery is the oldest sin in American history, period. It's the oldest sin in American history. So, and you know, I don't even like explaining it a lot to people because it's really a simple basic. It's two ways, y'all. It's a lot of detail in it, but it's always a way we can just keep it simple, right? So y'all know I like to keep shit simple, right? But if we have to go into detail, we will, right? So I don't think our my 30-time great grandfather would have been able to look through if he could have been able to look through a kaleidoscope or just across the water, across the seas to see what was happening. I don't think he would have continued to sell people. I don't think that. So Donald Trump is full of shit. If you voted for him and you're whining and crying now, see that's what I'm saying. Like, you got some people, like, okay, y'all know what did Michelle Obama say? When they go low, we go high. So that's kind of subscribes to the Martin Luther King theory. And even MLK wasn't even always on that peaceful shit for real. If you do your, see, a lot of people don't know that, but if you do your due diligence, he wasn't always with the peacefulness either. See, I subscribe to the Malcolm X theory. You can turn the other cheek, but damn, you ain't got but two. You only got two. So I'm of the theory, when they go low, you go blow for blow. Because see, sometimes you get to a point where I understand that when they go low, we go high, because it's like a matter of somebody has to have some sense, right? Okay. But if you're walking home from school and the bully hits you, now you might have somebody who just won't fight a bully back, but I'm saying a lot of people, many people, even if they're afraid, you're going to at least throw one punch, right? So you subscribe to going high, trying to take the higher road, trying to ignore the bully. Because one, you may really be afraid of them. Two, you don't think you can beat them. Three, you don't fight. Your parents taught you not to fight. So you may not be afraid. You maybe just don't want to fight. Hell, you ain't trying to get mess up your pretty face, your nice clothes. And then, people always saying, well, go back to fighting. Sometimes people get really hurt badly in fights. But at some point, and that bully keeps picking with you, even if you lose the fight, hell, that's all a part of fighting. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But if you lose the fight, at some point you're going to hit back. Or at least even defend yourself, even if you're just putting your arms up, So I don't subscribe to that bullshit about when they go low, you go high. Nah, we ain't with it. To a degree, yeah. It's kind of like my parents used to say, they hit you one time. See, this is when you used to could do that. You be in a controlled classroom setting, they hit you one time, or you outside, they're like, go tell the adult. Okay? And sometimes, I'm not going to say that the adult doesn't step in, because sometimes the adult will say, stop. Or, it may not seem real serious. And they hit you a second time. The adults talking to the other teachers, they're watching, but they get a chance to hit you a second time, kind of sneak hit you. Or just outright hit you, because you got some kids that are just bullies. You tell the teacher again. That third time, my parents say you lay that ass out. And if you can't lay that ass out, they gonna give them a hard time. Don't let them just lay you out like it ain't nothing, okay? So, how long do you go high when they keep going low? And I said all that to say this, Democrats, you better start fighting like they do. Y'all got money. And I'm gonna tell y'all, hell, my parents used to say, if they hit you 2 times, if they hit you 1 time, you can ask them to stop. But tell the teacher. If they hit you a 2nd time, tell the teacher he's hitting me. They hit you a 3rd time, because by that 3rd time, that teacher should have separated you and kept you separate. And if it happens to be in the hallway, that 3rd time, you Layla Ali their ass. You Layla Ali their ass. And if they beat you, guess what? 9 times out of 10, you got a brother, you got a sister, or you got some cousins or some neighbors. And you get them. And you get them the whack, okay? It is what it is. You can't keep letting somebody punch you. And right now, we are in a situation, as far as citizens, American citizens, where somebody is just punching us. So I'm like, we can't really do anything about it. But what is a good sign is putting some of these conservative senators and representatives in a funny situation. Okay, that was a little music, y'all. It's putting them in a funny situation. Because again, there was a town hall in Georgia last night, right? Conservative town hall. And you had Republicans standing up saying, I didn't vote for a king and I didn't vote for a dictator. You know, they still worried about the price of eggs. And hell, he even told you once he got elected, he couldn't handle that. He couldn't handle that. Let me tell you something. He don't give a damn about that. All right? And let me tell y'all another little thing that just happened today. They have gotten rid of the database. You know, the Department of Justice had a database on bad cops. They just got rid of that. So y'all can't tell me shit about no everybody bad. Everybody bad. Nah. Why would you get rid of a database with a bunch of rogue cops? Why would you get rid of that? So next, I guess they're going to just pardon all cops that have done everything. What's his name? The one that was on George Floyd's neck? Derek Chauvin? Is he just going to get pardoned now? Because if you're getting rid of the Department of Justice has a database for rogue cops. And I see your comments, Joy. Yeah, I'm going to go back up. They have a database for rogue cops, right? Let me tell you something. It's not just African Americans who get hurt by these cops. So it seems like until things start to affect the masses, people don't think, oh, wait a minute. Because see, I've seen a lot of racists on YouTube this week talking about the money that Biden gave them to maintain their farms. Yeah, they're getting rid of that. They're getting rid of that. You hear me? They're getting rid of that. So, for those of you who are looking for a stimulus check, come on, man. Well, how much you think it's going to be? Is it going to be enough to justify everything that has happened in these first 30 days? And this dude has a whole term. He has a whole term. It's almost as if, hell, you should have just let him get it out of the way after the first time. Why would you get rid of a database of rogue cops? A lot of times when these cops do things to whoever, black, white, yellow, brown, green, purple, most of them have a history of poor behavior or instances that they have done something that should have been, and they should have been punished for it, but all they got was a verbal, some type of maybe write-up or something like that, and they were put right back on the streets, never stopping their pay or anything like that, right? So he's just getting rid of that database of all these rogue cops that has had misbehavior. What the hell kind of... So dude, when you catch this replay, I'm going to ask this question and I'm being serious. Does he want this to become a third world country of just... Does he want a civil war? Does he want a civil war? That's what he needs to be asked. Does he want a civil war? And for those people who are talking about DEI isn't necessary, look at his administration. We can't tell a president who to hire, but look at his administration, and you tell me the DEI is not necessary. You got a whole bunch of incompetent ass people, his vice president, and the other little Fox News host that he hired to be over defense. To be over defense. You know, he don't mind those who have been charged with SA. He don't mind hiring them because that fits his category, right? Over there making mess ups. You got conservative people over here saying, oh, well, he, that sounded stupid, but he's new. Had Obama employed people like that? Had Obama employed people like that? Do you not understand how much racism we would have heard about Obama and his incompetent staff, his incompetency? Do you know how much Obama is black and white? Probably blacker than a lot of us because his dad is straight African, right? And that's what made him mad. They're good with the South Africans, just not the melanated Africans, right? YouTube, we got to talk a little bit today. So, you know, whatever happens with this video happens with this video. So the melanated African man, half, but again, I say he's 50-50. So hell, he's probably a lot more black than a lot of us, okay? He's half Caucasian. But the racism that and shout out to the brother because he picked a straight melanated woman to be the first lady, okay? The racism that he caught, okay? And as far as Biden, the bigotry that he caught for serving as his vice president, right? The racism that Kamala caught. You got people who are so racist, y'all, they don't even understand. They understand it, but they try to play it down. They don't, when you check them and let them know that's racist as F, what you just said, they say you got a chip on your shoulder. Let me tell you something. Anybody racist who comes through my chat or catches my replay, you can't hoodwink me, all right? You can't handle me. You can't mind F me when I call out your ish. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a mother duck, okay? It's a duck. So you come over here and try to tell me all this, oh, that's very racist. Let me tell you something. Racism, y'all created that game. We just play the cards we're dealt. Y'all created that. We play the cards we dealt. African Americans are the most loving, most forgiving people. And guess what? The trick to that is to other races and not even ourselves. I'm going to tell you what I heard a guy on here say. He didn't want African Americans' help. You know, now I respect the brother for what he said because he said, Mexican man. He said he didn't want the help of African Americans. Some of y'all African Americans think that we want your help or all of us are begging for your help. He said, nah, y'all don't even help each other. When another race, so if he knows that, do you not think that Caucasian America knows that? Do you not think that? My white brothers and sisters tell me that all the time. They be out here fighting with me for certain shit. They be like, damn, we just cannot get y'all community to show up. Y'all, they be out here fighting sometimes for shit that our own young people won't show up for. And what's really sad is that when it's some of our more seasoned people, 50s and 60s, they don't show up. They think it's all shits and giggles until it's diarrhea. They think it's all shits and giggles until it's diarrhea. So, nobody, Obama, Biden, Bush, okay? Hell, even Reagan has not done the things that this man has done single-handedly to dismantle the country. His own country. His own country. Who in the hell says that the Ukraine president is a dictator and he started the war? They encroached on those people's land. Who says some stupid shit like that? That's why when people say that shit burns me the hell up. Yeah, as humans, we all got some flaws. We all do some stuff that's wrong. All right? But there's no one person who has and he's not single-handedly doing it. If you pay attention, he's not even doing his job. He's doing the job of whatever those people tell him to do. And you talk about we don't need DEI. If we didn't need DEI, guess what? His staff would have some color somewhere. The most color his staff has is Cash Patel. And that's because he's an ass sucker. That's the most melanin you're going to find in his administration. All you see is white male figures who are incompetent. Education level is down the toilet. Vice president, pretty smart. Went to law school. But when they start becoming afraid of being a minority and thinking that somebody else may be a little bit better or may outnumber them, because nobody is better than anybody. See, they need to get off of that damn genetic shit where they thinking they're better. And that's all it is, y'all. It's just they just think that they're better. I don't remember God telling them that. Let me look at y'all comments, because I'm going a little bit slow today because I got pissed off today, y'all. Right before I started to walk, I saw that Cash Patel, on his first full day really of work, he has just deployed hundreds of FBI agents, meaning they have got to leave their current positions and go elsewhere. So that means they have to uproot their families, and that's some bullshit. All right? You don't know if they want to do that. You don't know if they're prepared to do that. That means they have to change schools. They have to go and be forced into positions where they have not worked before. Yeah, the work will probably be the same, but they have to. So what if you're in DC and you suddenly get this thing in your email today that you have to relocate to Texas, and you don't know a soul in Texas? You probably never been to Texas. What kind of mess is that? What kind of mess is that? All right? You got this idiot taking over the Postal Service. And I'm telling y'all, you think back to the last election, not 2024, but when he got his ass whooped in 2020. Remember the big deal they made about the mail-in ballots? The Postal Service? He wanted to fire somebody back then. He's doing that because in 2026, there will be some midterm elections, okay? And he wants to make sure he keeps, the Republicans keep the majority, all right? He wants to make sure that the Republicans keep the majority. Why else would he be effing with the Postal Service? Why would he take over? Another thing, he's taking over the Kennedy Center honors. Who in the hell does that? Who does that? Who does that? That's crazy as hell. So why would he want to take over the Postal Service? Because guess what? The next election, a lot of House of Representatives, a lot of representatives will be up for re-election. Okay? About a third of the Senate will be up for re-election. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to make sure his good old boys stay in. And you know why? Because they are having town hall. Have they called y'all yet? Has anybody called y'all on the phone talking about all the... That's why I put in the title Funanigans, but it's really shit-nanigans, okay? Not shenanigans, but shit-nanigans going on up there in D.C. Has anybody called y'all for a lot of these town hall meetings? All right? Well, I saw one on TV on the news last night in Georgia. Republican man. Guess who was mad as hell? Republican people. And you know, like I said, I'm never one to say, kind of rub it in the nastiest way that I can, because you never want to wish nothing bad on anybody. But I will say this, you getting what you voted for. You getting what you voted for. And this man has wreaked fucking havoc within 30 days. So I'm going to go back up, y'all. Some of y'all might be gone, but I hope that you are still here, because I had to just get that off my chest. When I saw that when I was about to walk, that they have redeployed hundreds of FBI agents from their original post, or whatever post they're at now. That's ridiculous. They're stopping these services for... He has never cared for veterans. There are... y'all know the type of hotline I'm talking about. It starts with an S, right? Those veterans need those types of hotlines. Okay? Because when they're living in their areas, sometimes there's not enough funding for all of them to even be treated for their mental situations, okay? So you cutting back on that? I have told people for years he's never cared about veterans, period. And the reason he doesn't care about veterans is not because he doesn't respect them, but he wasn't brave enough to be one. He wasn't brave enough to be one. So Donald Trump has this stupid way of thinking that if he didn't do it or he couldn't do it, it's not important. See, he wasn't brave enough to serve the country. He wasn't brave enough to serve. So we've had other presidents who did not serve, but with him, there's a difference, right? Anything that he can't do or he thinks he's above doing, but people show respect to others for doing it. Like he thinks he's above being a soldier. But soldiers get what? Much respect from many, many, many people, right? So that's a respect that he can't talk about having. Because hell, nobody told you to think you were above the military. He thought he was above serving, right? So he can't get that respect. Let me tell y'all something. When he was on the campaign trail, you know how like if you encounter a vet, a lot of people will say, thank you for your service. Or they show them great, great appreciation, right? So that's an appreciation that he'll never get. So he doesn't give a damn about them. He was a coward. He couldn't serve. He was a coward. One, he was a coward. Two, he thought it was beneath him. So when you see all these other veterans getting all these pat on the backs and all this, respect and appreciation, he hates that shit. He hates it. He hates it. I think I went up too far. Let me see. It's those babies that were, I can't get out of my head just now. The word is, I saw that, Angie. If you're still here, I saw that. And that's, how evil can you get? How evil can you get? Those babies don't get a chance. They don't get a chance. And with them, they didn't have a chance. What to kill? If it was an accident, when people kill kids, even if it's out of anger, but it's accidental, there is a degree of remorse that I will feel that I think that they can have. You may be hitting on your child and you shouldn't, but you may be whooping them. It may just be some people believe in that, or it may be however it happened. But your intent was definitely not to cause great bodily harm or worse. But that happens. I feel like there's some redemption that can be, that person can have some redemption. Or not really even redemption. That person, I feel like they do have some legitimate remorse. But when you just unalive kids, what, intentionally? Like satanic isn't even the word. Like, what is the word for that? What's the word? Because I've seen growing up, if you in a family where you got whippings or with belts, switches or whatever, sometimes you injure a child and, you feel remorse. That's why a lot of people stop doing it. They just stop doing it because they don't want to feel that type of remorse. They don't want to do it, and then they don't want to feel that type of remorse. But you have some people who, they still believe in it. They just say, you don't do it when you're angry. Because when you're angry, you're going to get angrier. So people have their ways of doing things. I'm not judging anybody. But I do believe that there have been times where a person did something and the intent was to be punishment, but not to hurt the way that they did. But when you just kill this person, and I'm sorry, YouTube, I didn't say who, but when you just do that, because it's hard to say all these code words on here. But when you do that, like, does Satan even dance with them? Does Satan even dance with them? I don't even know. Does Satan even dance with them? Angie says, yes, you are right. There's a lot of crazy just now. Joyelle says, hey, everybody. Hey, y'all. Hey, Moss and Sis and Mad Dog. Hey, Joyelle, y'all. I'm sorry that I didn't speak to y'all, but when I saw those layoffs, y'all, I was just like, I just wanted to talk. Like, I was just pissed off. Because that's the slightest of the things. You know what I'm saying? That's light work compared to everything else that he's doing. You got a lot of people, like I say, they say that they retire, right? Well, their retirement isn't like a 401k or this, and the other. It's just they're simply getting their Social Security and their Medicare or whatever. He about to tap on that. He about to tap on that. So it's funny and it's hee hee ha ha until it affects that person. Joyette says, honey, they are my okay. Okay, mispronouncing her name to be right, to be problematic. It's intentional. Yeah, they know. They know how to say her name. They know how to say her name. Because let me tell you something. I met her before. Okay? And she will quickly correct you with her name. So, yeah, met her before. She will quickly correct you when it comes to her name. So I know that she's not just doing that in certain situations. She does it when she has to. But she's not, she knows it's intentional. Georgia girl says, exactly. Georgia says, some people today, let me stop for a second so I can catch up. We are still, yeah, enslaved mentally by the systems of oppression. Right. They cannot break their ways or thinking and being. It is unfortunate. Jesus. Hell no. I wish you all could hear me take, okay, what my sister is saying to the library, text in classroom to my students. Okay, baby, listen, sometimes you must go low. Sometimes you got to. Malcolm X, okay, Stokely Carmichael, okay, went blow for blow. Forget that. And I love Dr. King. Exactly. You have to nip that shit in the bud. Right. See, Angie says, I'm in Britain, so know little of American history, just what taught in schools. See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times people be over here trying to tell us, and I'm not just you, Angie, being from Britain. I'm saying Americans trying to tell us how to feel, how to think. Oh, you weren't the ones in the cotton fields. My parents did. My grandparents were. So you know those before them were, right? My great-great-grandmother lived till I was 15 years old. Okay? We know the stories. One of her brothers just, he went away. Nobody knows to this day what happened to him. In certain areas of this country, right now, you can go into the woods and woods of this country, and you'll find pieces of cloth, okay? Listen to what I'm telling you. See, because this ain't going to come out no book. You can find pieces of cloth. They may have discoloration on them. They may have a lot of stains on them, and they have survived a couple of 100 years, okay? All right? Why would clothes just be hanging out through the woods like that? You know what I'm saying? And this is what you can find today. See, they want to get rid of history, his story to be told. They want to get rid of history, general history, true history, so that his story can dictate the history. In certain areas of this country, you can go through the deepest woods and you will find clothing, okay? You can find clothing hanging from trees. You can find clothing just in the woods, all right? Now, I know a lot of y'all probably want to say, well, that's because of people camping and people left this and people left that, or animals got a hotel. Man, get the hell out of here, okay? We know what those clothing represent. We know those clothing have survived. Let me tell you something, especially the clothes back then in slavery time, those weren't rags. They looked like rags, okay? But those clothes survived all types of weather and many years, okay? So a lot of those clothing, just talk to some of the elders in your community. I encourage you guys to talk to some of the elders in your communities, all right? And ask them about some of the stories that their parents told them. Why would our ancestors pass down nothing but lies? Why? Joyelle says, there's my baby sis. Mad Dog was speaking to everybody. Thank you, Mad Dog. Mad Dog says, I'm driving. I'll chat in a minute. Appreciate you, Mad Dog. They were the bullies in their younger years. Right. Of course, he wouldn't mind. Not when he's a whole, come on now, a whole felon. He's a whole felon. A whole felon, Joyelle. Obama would not have been able to front. Okay. He have not been able to grace the steps of the White House again had he been a felon. Damn right. If you walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, what that? It's a duck. Mad Dog said, child, y'all know I was way behind. Mad Dog says, I hadn't heard a thing, but I do answer the phone anyway. Let me. Nah, sis, you have been running, not walking. Exactly, Joyelle. So to anybody who was here earlier, if I missed you, if I did not say hello to you, I'm sorry about that. I think I did catch Georgia girl because she was in here and I said hello to her. I think Angie was in here and I said hello to Angie. And to Angie, if I come off as like a little bit gruff, it's just that over here in this country, you don't know until you know. All right? You don't know until you know. And a lot of times people say, well, if you don't like it so much, why not just move? Why should I? Why should I? Why not just stay? You don't let people run you away from what's yours, okay? Don't let people run you away from what's yours, right? A lot of times they like, well, go back to Africa. A lot of us didn't come from Africa. A lot of us didn't come from Africa. Now, if you want to get down to the dirty of it, hell, all of us came from Africa. If you want to get down and dirty with it, all of us came from Africa. So even when they're talking that stuff about, oh, we were from here, yes, some of us were over here. Some of us were over here. You know what? Y'all know what the deal is. Y'all know other people were over here. Y'all know who came over here and just stuck a pole in the ground and said it's ours. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know they came over here and stuck a pole in the ground and said it was theirs. They didn't care who was already over here. They didn't care who was already over here. See, the difference that they make between people of color. So they feel like we can have good hair, straight hair, long hair. It's what they call good hair. A lot of our people have good hair. Like my granny always told me, she don't give a damn how straight your hair is, how curly it is, or how nappy it is. If you got hair, you got good hair, because you got hair. All right? All right? Now, if you want to be logical, reasonable, and adult about it, be glad that you got hair, okay? It doesn't matter if it's kinky, or if it's nappy, if it's long, if it's short, if it's straight, if it's curly. And a lot of our people have had straight hair. So they want to call them other cultures or other races, you know. But at the end of the day, I've even heard racists admit where did mankind most likely start? Okay? So hell, we are African. Who is it to? And you know, we're the flesh. We're living in this country now. There are regions, and people claim regions, right? But honestly and truly, who is it for anybody to tell somebody else where they can and cannot live? What is it for anybody to tell another group of people where they can or cannot live? That's the craziest thing to me. That you feel like you can tell another group of people, another race of people, where they can or cannot live. It's like during the pandemic, right? Y'all know where all of it was supposed to, whether it was man-made or man-created or not. Where did it start, right? So there were Africans over there studying. And then they started to put on the windows of places like McDonald's, public places, kicking Africans out of their residencies. They were over there studying, or for whatever reason that they were there. They start putting, y'all, it was so freaking disgusting. If you are of African descent, you weren't allowed in certain restaurants, in certain areas in China, right after the pandemic started to slow down. I was like, I know you fucking lying. They got some nerve. They got some nerve. Because see, everything negative or everything bad, they always want to say it starts with black people. We know what country that didn't start at. But I wouldn't be surprised in her story if it ends up one day that the pandemic originated out of Africa. I would not be surprised if 200 years from now, and look, I wouldn't be surprised if 3000, the year 3000, if there's even any such thing as a book, I would not be surprised if it would not be written in the book that C started in Africa. I would not be surprised to see that lie. And anything that's bad, we make up in America like 14% of the population. For years and years and years, hell, hundreds, we only made up 12, right? So if we make up but when it comes to the prison system, the prison population, how can you make up what? This may not be actual factual, but I'll say, how can you make up at least 60%? Not that it's impossible, but what does that mean? Our justice system is flawed as F. Our justice system is flawed as F. Now, do a lot of times people get out who should be in there longer? Yes. But if we're only 14% of this population, right? And for decades, like I say, even probably a couple of hundred of years, we've been 12%. How is it that we make up 60, 75% of the prison population? Because I can promise you, we ain't the only ones committing crime. Out of being 14% of the population, how do you become 60, 75% of the prison population? And don't tell me no shit about no, because y'all commit crimes. Yeah, we do. But they do too. Every other race does too. And we know who the majority is in America right now. And we just gonna keep it, we're gonna keep it funky. For Angie, she like in Britain, white males in the United States, they do not like being in the minority. Years ago when I was in high school still, when people were able to speak freely and tell the truth, or even just give what may not be clearly the truth, but like estimates, rough estimates. With the influx of Mexicans coming in, other people coming from other countries, I think around the year 2050, it was said that Caucasian Americans would be in the minority. Y'all, you think they taking away funding from health research and medical research, but I bet you they believe in that shit. They don't believe in the other stuff, but they believe that. And that's why hence why you see what's going on today. So you want to take away DEI? Okay. If you were sincere about that, and you really thought that, oh, things are so much better now, you would have done research. You won't just come in here talking about, oh, we don't need DEI. And guess what? Y'all just lay low and lay cool. Because a lot of the things that they're taking away, it's not just affecting African Americans. It's not just affecting Mexicans. It's affecting a lot of Caucasian women. You know, a lot of those loans and grants that they would go get in their husbands' names because their husband couldn't get them. So, because they were meeting the term of the minority. Because see, to be a Caucasian woman, you're considered a minority. So when your husband can't go get the funding, excess funding, guess who will go and get those loans? Their wives. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit today. They will go get them. And that's in all areas of this country. So now you want to get rid of DEI as relates to grants, contracts, and loans and things like that. Guess what? You're hurting some Caucasian women. All right? And all of them aren't just getting those loans for their husbands. You have some hard working Caucasian sisters who out here putting the work in, got their own business, single women, married women, single women with children, married women with or without children, but they were doing that for themselves. So you're hurting them as well. And if you look at his administration, it's all white males, and all of them have said idiotic things that have shown their incompetence. They've said things that we would have known better than not to say. We would have presented in a better way. Even when you know you're doing wrong, there's a way to present what you're saying. All right? So they're out here saying all kinds of crazy stuff, just incompetence. It's because what drives them, they got the money, y'all. They got money where their kids and their grandkids should never have to work. But guess what? They want to keep it that way. They don't believe in equal. They don't believe in, this is what used to be called a melting pot, right? So they were all good with it being called a melting pot. But they don't believe in people having equal access. So that's why I say, don't ever tell me that I didn't pick cotton. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. Because guess what? My great-great-grandmother did. My grandmother did. My mother did. And you know my ancestors before that did. Were they compensated for that? Hell no. That money was saved and kept. And the people who are here now, the generation before me, this generation, the generation after me, they're benefiting from not having paid what they should have paid people. Yeah, we didn't have the opportunities to invest because we weren't paid-ish to invest back then. You got people whose families are, and not all white people are wealthy. Do not by any means, any stretch of the means think that I'm saying that. But I'm talking about these ones who are wealthy. And I am talking about a lot of these poor ones who really don't understand that they can't afford to be racist. They can't afford to to support certain people. They literally cannot afford it. They literally and figuratively cannot afford to. They literally and they figuratively cannot afford to be so hateful and evil. And y'all, it's a lot of them who ain't got shit. It's a lot living in broken down homes and trailers. Those are the most racist ones. Because in their minds, the way their genetics are set up, the way they think, the way their mindset is thought, is set, is that they should have, even if they ain't got ish, they should have more than a melanated person. Even if they don't have ish, they should have more than a melanated person. So if they don't have more than a melanated person, guess what? They'll take their asses out there and vote against their own best interests. Okay? They'll take their asses out there and vote against their own best interests. Our ancestors built this country with their blood, sweat, and tears. Come on, Joyelle. Let me see. Angie says, amen. Joyelle says, Angie says, good hair is strong hair, mine is weak. That's what I'm talking about, Angie. Good hair, all types of hair is good hair to me. And let me tell you, a lot of times people laugh, and you know, when you learn better, you do better. But you have grown women, and I'm talking about African American women or black women, whichever one they want to be called. Because some people they want to be called one, not the other. They sit there and laugh about people's edges. You know, sometimes that stuff is funny, kiki ha ha, for a minute or two. But you have some people, that is their daily thing. Like, that is so important to them. Now, I can understand, yeah, your damn edges being important to you, your own edges. Why the hell you got to laugh at somebody else's edges? You don't know if they have alopecia. You don't know if they're taking medication that interferes with their hair growth. You don't know why their hair is how their hair is. So, like Angie said, strong hair is good hair. You can have the nappiest, kinkiest hair. If that motherfucker's strong, you got good hair. Okay? Because you can do so anything with it. You can, especially the shit. That's the hair you can do a whole lot with. That nappy hair, shit, you go up in the beauty shop and come up out of there. Baby, they can work all kinds of tricks and magic with their hair. When you have that hair that's kind of slick and kind of, that hair that's kind of slick and, you know, it's easy to comb, but sometimes it's just not, it doesn't hold certain ways. Now, not all people who have nice, slick, silky hair, I'm not saying all, but I have talked to some people where their hair is like really silky, but it's curly. And they talk about how they wish they could get their hair like this or like that. Let me tell you something. You get a nappy-haired woman or a man, they hair gonna hold some styles, baby. They hair gonna hold some styles. See, that's the type of stuff that our people are worried about. So that's when I said that Mexican guy that said he didn't want our help. Y'all, I couldn't be mad at him because he ain't lying. We don't stand together for nothing. We don't stand together for anything unless it's to do wrong. And I'm just gonna say it is what it is. Am I perfect? Hell no. You know, no. Do I like a little drama or a little mess? Yeah, but when I say a little, believe me when I say a little, because after a while it gets old to me. Because I'm of the school of each one teach one. Even if it's something that I'm laughing at somebody about, you can get a chuckle off of it, but teach them. You know, some people aren't teachable. And I'm not saying that they're not teachable because that they don't have, you can't teach them. I'm not saying they're not teachable because of their intellect. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that some people aren't teachable because they're so childish. Like, they worry about the wrong things. And when you're trying to teach them something and you're trying to educate them or you're trying to give them some knowledge, it's like it's a joke to them. It's laughter to them. See, some people feel like if you can't change anything, like when you start to when you do try to get deep, you can't a lot of times. And sometimes people start to get depressed. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like I said, that story that I heard coming out here when I was about to walk, this man has redeployed like hundreds of FBI agents, uprooting them and their families from their homes, their children from their schools, from their friends, from their neighbors. You know, they've gotten used to being where they are. You know, a lot of times with jobs like that, people don't want to leave unless they want to leave, you know? Or like, I could see if they were shutting down an agency in an area and that was that. No, this man just came in on his first day of work and just decides to do something this idiotic. So that's kind of stupid to me. I mean, he didn't even get in there and try to look over things because he had already said before he was confirmed that he was going to do it. They sit there, y'all, in them confirmation hearings and they lie. They sit there in those confirmation hearings and they lie. Now, this is something I can say a lot of them do, Democrats and Republicans. They lie. Because at the end of the day, there are some things that you're just not going to be able to get done because it has to go through Congress and you don't have the votes. That's why I really don't understand why the Supreme Court, and I just feel like our Supreme Court, it ain't worth a damn right now. Because they're the ones who set this man up to make him feel like he's untouchable. Y'all remember when they ruled that he damn near couldn't be touched? So now when these judges, a lot of these judges and a lot of the people working at these departments of justice, they don't, it's like, what do you do? Because even some of them who are Republicans are like, no, that's just wrong. Certain things that he's doing, they're just wrong. And they feel like they're not living up to, they went to school for all these years, became lawyers and did all the things that they need to do. And now you have somebody who has set himself up to be a dictator trying to tell them how to do their jobs. And he even said something about impeaching judges. So you're just going to impeach. Like, does this dummy know that he was elected for 4 years? See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. He's taking over the Postal Service. Because when they have the midterm elections, it's going to be some funny shit about the votes. Because listen, a lot of the Republicans in Congress right now, they scared as hell. They don't know what to do. A lot of them are okay because they're just like him. But half of them, they're starting to walk back a lot of the shit that they be saying. They having these town hall meetings, and you got Republicans, conservative people, mad about the Social Security, the Medicare, the jobs, all these cuts that they're making. And it's just out of the blue. So now they're in a catch-22. Do I continue to support everything that he does? Or do I support my constituents, the people that sent me here to serve? Because see, they're really in a messed up situation. Because if you don't support him, guess what? He's going to talk down about you when it's time for your election in 2026, right? But if you continue to support what he's been doing so far, you're probably not going to win your election anyway. Because his own people are getting tired. People who sent him back to the White House are getting tired. So they're in catch-22s right now. They're in catch-22s. Angie says black people would suss them out. That's why I believe people of color from personal experience are more connected to source. Angie, it's like I was saying earlier. I have a lot of white brothers and sisters that help me do a lot when it comes to, like, I don't know, you guys, if you are not involved, just get involved with some of the things that go on in your area or in areas close to you so that you can at least know a lot of the stuff. Kind of sometimes even before it happens, some of the stuff, a lot of it we're not going to know, but just at least get involved, okay, in some way if you can. A lot of times people say your local government matters more. Well, I'm telling you, in 2025, hell, your local government going up and through there. So you better pay attention to what's going on your state and federal level. Because I hear people say that, and it does matter a lot. But we're at a point right now where your local government can't put their hands on shit damn near. So please pay attention on the federal level. Please pay attention. Don't let it get you so angry every day and get you so down, but you need to pay attention. And when you can, when you have a minute, share that minute of your time, getting the word out, putting feet to the ground, okay? Boots to grass, boots to the concrete, and do the things that you need to do so that you can see, it can be seen. You know, they've been having marches all last week. And y'all remember when they had that, what? What? Y'all remember when the ladies went to DC with the little coochies on their head? Guess what? That was massive. But what happened is, it just dwindled. They stopped. So I think right now, maybe some people are saying that this had to happen. Some people are saying that something like this had to happen to even open the eyes of everyone. Because I'm telling y'all, I know these people, some people I've seen, y'all, they are straight racists. They are straight racists. But they ain't down with a lot of this stuff that's popping off right now from DC. They on here whining, I didn't vote for this. Or I thought this. What it was they thought that it wouldn't affect them. They thought that nothing he did would affect them. now that it's affecting the farmers, now that it's affecting people over 65, now that it's affecting kids in Head Start, kids in elementary school, now that they're trying to get rid of the Department of Education, now that he's firing and doing all these layoffs, and then the nut jobs are trying to call people back to a job because they laid too many off. You see what I'm saying? Just stupid stuff like this. Now that it's about to affect the Postal Service, now that it may affect your taxes. See, some people are misunderstanding this tax thing. Do you think that these people are going to get rid of taxes? Just get rid of taxes. How will this country sustain if they just get rid of taxes? Now some of the women are looking like, wait a minute, what? I have full custody of my child, and you're going to let the dad who really is back on the child support? See, how's a lot of this shit going to work? Some men and some women, because sometimes dads have custody, are behind on child support already. So you're going to, because they're paying child support, you're going to let them file the child on the taxes? What kind of shit is that? A lot of them are already behind. They're behind. And instead of letting the custodial parent file, whether it's man or a woman, in many cases it's women, but there are some men who have custody. So instead of letting the custodial parent file, you're going to let the person who's paying child support file, who one, may be behind on child support, two, may not even pay much child support. You know how much money sometimes people get for the child tax credit, the earned income credit, and other types of credit that they get for college and school and things like that, and you want to give it to the person who is probably behind on child support, and maybe if he's caught up on his child support, so what? When you get child support, you can best believe your bottom ass that ain't all the money that child need in a month, okay? So it's like it had to, some people, I'm not saying it had to happen because I really don't think it had to happen. I think it happened because of racism and misogynistic views. Didn't want a woman to be president. Talked about the woman, oh, she'll be too hard. Same thing they said with Hillary. Oh, a woman's hormones. So you think men don't have hormones? Men have ego complexes and everything. As we could see, this idiot that we do have. So you think men don't have hormones? You think men don't get hormonal? Men go through midlife crises. You don't think they go through hormonal changes that make them act crazy? It's just women, right? Ain't that some shit? Because what's the long time thing been? A man with a strong woman behind him is a good thing, has a good thing. So a woman can't be president? Other countries have proven that wrong. All right? Thank you, Mad Dog. I appreciate you, sis. Joyelle says, I'm going to shake the table some more. Now, this isn't just to justify crime, but because there is a scarcity of resources in minority communities, the crime rates are up. And they're up. There's probably, I don't know, a city in the United States who's probably not trying to address it. Right? Thank you, Mad Dog. Welcome in, everyone. Please double tap that screen, y'all, okay? Click those three dots to the right and thumbs up this live. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe if you don't mind. Hold down my doorbell, better known as a YouTube notification bell, y'all, so y'all can know when I come over here and we walk and talk. Okay, well, that's what we do over here. We walk and talk, and I want y'all to be notified when we go walking and talking. Mad Dog says, yeah, I have a good evening lunch process, Joyelle. See you later, Mad Dog. See you later in these YouTube streets. I got to go check out. I got a notification from you, so I got to go check that video out. I was at work, and I didn't check it yet. Came home, got out of those clothes, put these on. So I got to check out Mad Dog's video. Y'all please check out Mad Dog No Good. If you haven't subscribed to her already, go over there and give her a try. Check her out. I think you'll like it, and I think you'll end up subscribing. Tap that bell so you'll be notified when she goes live, because she does go live, and when she uploads her videos, okay? Lakeitha says, hey, Lines Pride and Chat. I'm working, just wanted to come in and say, thank you, Lakeitha. I appreciate you. Lakeitha, I've been fussing. Sis, and if I didn't see you earlier, I'm sorry, okay? Angie says, ignorance in people, and yes, Angie, pitifulness will block a person. They just close my, yes, and that's my thing, Angie. I always, like, now some people, if I've seen them and I've watched them, I'm not really open-minded to some of the things that they say, because sometimes we could just see who you can't change. Like, you can't change anybody, and that's not my desire to change anybody, but my desire is to say something to a person, to say something to them that may cause them to open their minds a little bit to what I'm saying. Just like when I listen to people, I may be totally against what they're saying, but I will listen. You have some people that don't want to listen because they're just totally closed-minded. There are some things that I truly don't believe in, but it depends on the person saying it. Because just because we disagree on things doesn't mean that we disagree on everything. So I will listen to people, especially if it's people that I respect. I will listen to people, especially if it's people that I respect, especially if it's someone who I have a commonality with in general. I will listen. We don't have to always agree on everything. Because sometimes, y'all, we disagree not so much on the outcome, but the way to the outcome. Sometimes you disagree on the ways, like the directions. Like, I can go this way. You might want to go this way. The next person might want to go that way. But at the end of the day, we still end up over here on this side of the street. Because at some point, we had to make a left or a right turn to get there. So I really do believe in listening to people, even when I think they talking crazy as hell. If I respect them at all or have had any interaction with them, I will listen. Angie says, hey, Lakeitha. Lakeitha says, hey, Angie. Joyelle speaking to Lakeitha. I'm going back to work with you guys later. Okay, talk with you guys later. Okay, Lakeitha, thank you so much for coming in, Lakeitha. And I'm sorry if I didn't get all your comments because I've been fussing. I've been ranting. And I need to go, y'all, because I really do got to go. It's Friday, y'all. Friday, Funanigans. Like when you say shenanigans. So we can say Friday, fun day, Friday. We can say all of that. But today, I was just wanting to get into some shenanigans. Okay? I wanted to talk about the shenanigans a little bit. So I just put Funanigans. Okay? Joyelle says what it is, he has some friends that have boosted his head up to enforce the child support policy. Exactly, Joyelle. Exactly. Because my thing is, if they don't have full custody, they're paying child support. Whatever they're paying for child support, most judges kind of base that on your income, okay? If you're making, and nowadays they base it on both incomes, right? That's what they determine the non-custodial. That's how they determine the non-custodial parents' income. Contribution to child support. So if you're paying $350 for one child, guess what? You probably have a really lucrative job. If it's one child, you're paying $350 or more. Okay? But say you don't pay that $350. That child still has to eat. That child still uses water, cable, power, all types of amenities. And when I say amenities, I'm not just talking about around the home. Kids need things these days. These kids are athletes. These kids need things for school. They go on trips. You want your children to just sit at home and never go on the field trip? Maybe they're not going on the field trip every day. Maybe they don't need clothes every day. But they contribute to that water bill, that power bill, that cable bill, and any other bill around the house. And then plus they have to eat lunch. What if because of the mother's income, they're on paid lunch? They have things that come up at school. So your little $350, yes, it'll be a great help. But do you not feel like that a lot of times that lady is probably having to put in another $300 to go along with it? Or that man is having to put in another $300 to go along with it? And $350 is still kind of being kind of generous. So some people only get like $200 child support for a child in the summertime. So should we have to take you back to child support court every summer when the power bill goes up to readjust it? Just pay any real man and any real woman who does not have custody of their child, pay your damn child support and let the other person get their taxes. Because there's a lot of things that child needs, especially if they're a cheerleader and any type of athlete, or it could be academics. They could be very, very smart and they're always participating in things. And girl, look, if it's both, a lot of times you might do spend $500 a month on that child. And that's, like I said, you take if you could, and if you're paying $200, that means the mother is probably paying $300 already, because there are fees to be paid. Especially, you have some months that really hit hard. So yeah, every month won't be a hard hitter when it comes to the finances. But yeah, that you're the mom and they have to use the power. But there's more power being used. There's more water being used. There's more gas being used. So especially if you're only paying $200 to $300, why in the hell would you be deserving of any of the tax credit from that child? Why? And that's whether you're the mother or the father. Let the custodial parent have it. Julia says absolutely, so that we don't be biased. Exactly. And who cares if she got 15 other kids? If she got 15 other kids or one other child, that's not yours. You're paying for yours. When the judge makes a decision, it's based on yours. And some people feel like judges are biased towards men anyway. And then you have a lot of men who feel like judges are biased towards women. I've known some female judges, they kind of be hard on the women. And I know some men judges be kind of hard on the men. So it just depends on the judge and how they believe. Angie says, I got zero child support. I brought my 4 kids up alone, but that's just how it works here. Wow. See, that's crazy. That's crazy. And whoever, the father of those kids should have been made to help you. It should have been made to help you. See, over here, a lot of states, there's consequences to not paying your child support. But at the rate that he's going, Joyelle and Angie, it's going to be like, shit, I ain't even got to worry about paying my child support now. So basically, you're going to let him, because some of them have the money and just don't pay it. But if your state doesn't have a consequence like taking their driver's license or something like that, then they just go and they don't pay it. So now you mean to tell me that they're going to be allowed to get the money off their child for the year? And then some of them owe child support? Guess what? When they get those little tax credits, they're not going to get that child any money. Child, I want to box the fuck out of my baby daddy and his mom's red now, okay? Because she upholds a grown man, but that's why I bossed up. But still, exactly. That's why you have to boss up, but still, it's the principle, Joyelle. Exactly, it's the principle of it. Look at Joyelle. Angie, Joyelle is about to help you get some of that assistance from that daddy. She's about to help you get some assistance from daddy. Angie is ready. Angie is ready. Y'all know I got to get out of here. I've been on here an hour and a half. I've been on here because I was a little bit mad today. Like I said, I don't go deep into politics, but when he does something kind of weird and stupid, I will say something about it. And one reason I don't go deep into it is because people argue about it instead of listening. I have talked to a lot of people on here that didn't agree with me, but they still listen to me. And at the end of the day, whether they agree with me or not, I'll never know. But we have ended up having a rational conversation. And they understood what I was saying, and I may or may not have understood what they were saying. And even when they didn't understand what I was saying, we were able to have a rational conversation. See, a lot of times, I don't know what it is about this particular president. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. So I don't know why people go so hard for him. That's why I know it's the element of racism. He's doing things that a lot of Caucasian Americans feel like he's taken away from us. There's more white people on welfare than us. We're only 14% of the population, remember? Okay? There's a lot of white people on housing assistance as well. Okay? I talked to one just the other day, waiting on his child to get a house voucher. Okay? They're saying it's up in the air. They don't know what's going to happen. Okay? So what I say is that, okay, if we can point out all the differences that we have with the gripes that we have, as it relates to race, gender, creed, or color, once we get all that and acknowledge that, we can still find a common ground in figuring out how to deal with what's not working for us. See, that's what has been the problem. Everybody is okay with everything that he does until it affects them or someone that they know and love. They're okay with it until it affects them or someone that they know and love. So you got people right now, like I was talking about some farmers. A lot of them said they voted for him. You know, if he was to go back and change whatever he's undoing, he undid it. They were getting funds from Biden. I forgot the name of the act, but they were getting funds, right? If he stopped it. If he goes back and reverses that, guess what? Those same farmers are going to be like A-okay with him again. And they're not going to care about anybody else's problems. And that is the problem itself. You have to care about other people's problems. You have to be able to listen to other people and see what they're asking for. Because what makes your hardship any more worth receiving help for than anybody else's hardship? Right? You have single mothers. It is what it is. You have single fathers. They may not have a place to live. They're living in cars. Okay, you're a farmer. Now you're mad. So what you should do is get with other people who have gripes. People, they're just taking stuff from people. And you should come to a common ground and learn how to fight together to get what you all need. But that's the problem. Everybody's okay with everybody else getting stepped on as long as they're getting what they need. And then when it's them that he's taking something from, then it's a problem. Then they say we want to fight. We need to stick together. All right? Then they want to stick together. So, yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Let's see. I look at Joyelle saying that she's going to ride with Angie. Burr says, later lines, probably have a blessed night. Burr, thank you so much for coming to the chat. I'm glad to see you. I missed you. So I'm glad you came in today. You have a blessed night as well, Bird. Each and every one of you ladies have a blessed night. Thank you for coming in. Y'all, please check out everybody who has a channel that came into the chat. I thank you to the subscribers. I thank you to the content creators. Thank you to my moderators. And I thank you, YouTube, for allowing us this platform. Now, I said some stuff on here today they may not like, but I ain't go in. I see a lot of channels go in, okay? I didn't go in. So let the video make it, YouTube, okay? Let the video make it. All right? I didn't go in. Just let the video make it. Y'all, don't let bother people bother you, okay? Don't let stress people stress you out. And of course, what? If you find yourself in a misery lounge, grab your grip and go. Get up out of there, okay? If you find yourself in a chat, in a lounge, even at home, go outside and take a breather, okay? Don't let bother people bother you. Don't let stress people stress you out. Just grab your grip and go. GYGAG. Grab your grip and go. Okay? You look, go back to your own ecosystem, your own place, your own lounge. Go to your own ecosystem where things are equal, okay? It may not be perfectly equal, but the setup is good for you. Y'all hear that? He going too fast in the neighborhood. You know, it could be 40, 60, but that's okay for you, right? Maybe it needs to be 40, 60. Maybe it needs to be 30, 35, 30. Well, 5% something else. You know your system, you know your ecosystem. So whenever you're in another place, another platform, another chat, anywhere that you don't feel comfortable, go back to your place, your platform, your chat, your ecosystem. All right? Where all things may not be equal, but they're equal enough for you. Okay? All things may not be equal, but they're equal enough for you. And I didn't even say what we usually say. You try to know what it is. Okay? Anything that you hear me do or hear me do, y'all hear that. Anything that you hear me do, Lord have mercy. Anything that you hear me say or see me do, please do so at your own risk, because I am not your doctor, your primary healthcare provider, or any of those things. But I want you to contact your doctor, nurse practitioner, physician's assistant. If you had injuries in the past, your physical therapist, your occupational therapist, your nutritionist, your dietitian, okay? Your psychologist, your psychiatrist, any of your specialty doctors, any one or combination of those people, they're your healthcare team. They form a circle around you. I call that circle of what? An atom. All right? And you are the nucleus, okay? Okay? You are the nucleus. Y'all, I hope they don't get me for that music, because I wasn't able to get it. You are the nucleus. All right? So I wish you guys peace, positivity, and prosperity. Because without peace, there's chaos. We got a little chaos going on in the States right now. Without positivity, there's negativity. And of course, that chaos and negativity, whenever they dance around together, you fail to prosper to your fullest potential. And I think what's going on in this country, after a little bit, no matter what side of politics that you're on, you're gonna see that you're gonna have to come together a little bit. You're gonna have to come together a little bit. All right. So thank you, Joyelle. Peace, positivity, and prosperity. Yes. Have all three of those P's so that you can walk in your purpose. Okay? Peace, positivity, and prosperity so that you can walk and fulfill your purpose. Love you, sis. I enjoyed you all. Thank you, Joyelle. Of course, we enjoyed you. We enjoyed you, Angie, Lakeitha, Bird, Mad Dog. Who else? Shawanda came in here. Anybody that came, if I didn't say your name, I'm sorry. It was not intentional, okay? I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So y'all have a great rest of your Friday. Have fun today. Treat yourself. Find a way to feel good about yourself. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, okay? Bye, y'all. Love you too, sis. Love you, Joyelle. Y'all, it don't even want to end. Angie, remember what I said? We ride at dawn. Angie, if you are still here, Joyelle is ready to ride with you. You guys ride at dawn. She's... Wait a minute. Y'all got me laughing too loud. Okay. Y'all got me laughing too loud. Angie is still here, Joyelle. She saw you. Much love, y'all. Bye, y'all. What's tomorrow? Saturday? Okay, if it's the Lord's will, I will see you guys tomorrow in the next... Okay, I was being nosy, y'all. In Lines Pride for the next Let's Walk and Talk, okay? Bye, y'all. Joyelle, how about you just maybe hit cancel? had hit the end and hit cancel. Bye, y'all.